Hey everyone, Michelle with a bus named LuLu here. Today I'm going to show you how I put sound dampening in LuLu. The first thing you'll want to do that you can see me here doing is check the fit of the material you're using. This piece is really malleable, so I was able to push them into place to check the fit without measuring. But if you need to measure, definitely do that. Next, and you could kind of see it there, I cut an extra couple of inches off of the edge with an X-Acto knife. It was really small and hard to see. You can kind of see it flashing. This stuff is really satisfying to cut through, kind of like butter. So you're just going to want to, take your measurements, cut that to fit, pull off your excess, and then you are ready to put it into place. Once it's cut to the right size, you just peel the backing off, place it in the spot you're sticking it to. It is really sticky, but as you can see here, I was able to kind of pull it up quickly to readjust it. Once it's in place, you really want to stick it on there. Make sure you have a nice, good place of contact across the whole sheet, and really push it down in there. What I am working with today, it's specifically meant for sound dampening. There are other materials you can use. Some of them will melt with higher heat, and that smell can be really awful. So especially if you're planning on spending any time in warmer weather, I would recommend using something made for this specific situation. The one I'm using here is sold in rectangles, but you can also find it in strips, kind of like tape, or in larger pieces. And then here you can see I've placed it all across the front of the engine compartment, side by side, as close as possible. I didn't really want any gaps there. And if you know anything about Volkswagens, then you know that they can be loud. So while, sound dampening isn't a requirement, it's definitely something I did for my own comfort. And this is something that I actually put a lot of resources in this specific area. Working on the top of the engine compartment, there were some places I could put down whole sheets. Other places I did have to cut and fit around the top portion, where you can access the engine compartment from inside of the vehicle. Before doing any of this work, you do want to make sure that your surfaces are clean and that they are free from rust. I did have some spots that I treated with rust remover. I made sure I went over it a couple times really well to clean it. And anything that you do have on the surfaces that you're working with is going to stick, is going to be there in between your sound dampener and your vehicle. And so if you're looking at rust, it is only going to get worse if you leave it. Then once I had all of my sound dampener laid and stuck, I went back and covered any seams with aluminum tape. I'm not quite sure if that does anything for the quality of the sound dampening, but I did want to make sure that anything sticky was fully contained. I wanted to make sure raw edges wouldn't peel up with normal use, so I just went over all of those seams with aluminum tape. And then for the rest of the van, I did put soundproofing in the floor, on the side panels, along the roof. You really can put this stuff anywhere that you might have a rattle, and what it actually does is it absorbs the movement of the vehicle, makes it a lot quieter. So even if you're putting small pieces throughout the van, it can really make a difference. The only place that I fully outfitted with sound dampener was the engine compartment, but I put some excess on the ceilings, the grooves in the floor, which you'll see in my next video. So definitely worth it, especially if you're traveling in an older vehicle. So that is the final look. If you liked this video, definitely subscribe to my channel. I love having you guys here, and thanks so much for watching. All right.